Hello and welcome back to the show. I have Angie the sound healer with me today, and she's going to tell us about her work in helping people heal with sound. Angie, welcome to the show. Tell me all about what you do. I love this.
Thank you, Kelly, for inviting me. It's amazing. Just from commenting on a video. That's part of what I love about this journey we're all on at the moment is this synchronistic, like joining of dots. And sound is part of that.
Yes.
Sound is part of that because
it is.
Sound just keeps going. It doesn't stop. So I suppose from a very early age, I used to sing to myself because I wouldn't never sing out loud because I was told not to, so I never did. And I suppose it started there because that was a kind of self-soothing. And years later, I met the guy that I trained with. Myself and my partner, we trained with a guy called Tim Wheater. He is the god of sound, as far as I'm concerned. He brought sound healing to the West in the early 2000s. Awesome. And to train with him, it was like, because I knew when I saw him up on stage that first time, I'm like, that's it. That's what it is. And it was amazing. And I was so moved that I was, even though I'd done lots of inner work, I was still I wouldn't approach people at all. It wasn't something that I did. I actually got up and I went and I spoke to this bloke, Tim Wheater, and the lady that he was working with at the time. And I said, that was just amazing. And then when I trained with him on that first day, at the end of the day, I said, I've got to tell you a story. And so that he really kind of solidified what that was that I knew as a child. It was amazing. And the thing with singing, a lot of people don't realize why they feel good when they sing. It's because it's the out breath. So the out breath is where the relaxation is. That's where that response comes in. So when you sing, that's why you feel good when you sing, because you're actually relaxing yourself. And of course, I didn't learn that until I did other training as a yoga teacher. So, although I didn't know what I was doing as a child, I knew what to do. And it's quite amazing that I can sit here now and say, I'm a sound healer.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I find it also very amazing how innately, because I try to teach people that we have all of this knowledge in us naturally, just like with the sound, right? And you did this as a child. I know many people that as children, they hum or they sing, and it's a way of them to release and relax and, be in that happy place again. Yeah. And we just do it so naturally and organically without the understanding of the wisdom behind it. And now you have that wisdom and that knowledge behind it to further influence other people. And I love that. I love that. So let me ask you, what exactly is involved in learning sound healing? How does one learn that?
I don't think that. Well, you said you don't need bits of paper, that's for sure. I've got one, but it's just words on a bit of paper. It doesn't. I have learned probably more since I trained off my own back and actually doing it. I think it's in the doing, and it's in the experimentation.
Right. So it's more of an intuitive thing, right? You're listening to what's feeling right, or like how is that what it is? You're feeling it out?
Yeah, it depends on the tools you're using. So that there is, I mean, music theory to me just makes my head go. But one thing I've learned is about perfect fifths. Yeah. That's really easy. You just count the notes. It's easy. You don't have to know music theory to know perfect fifths. So I've been using those a lot recently because that's kind of come in front of my magical eyes. So it's like, okay, I need to use that. So it's that synchronistic thing again. So if a piece of knowledge kind of comes in front of me, I will look at it. I might learn a little bit about it, but then it's the doing of it.
Yeah.
If I'm using tuning forks, now that's a different thing altogether. So with tuning forks, what's really interesting is you can, a bit like Star Trek, yeah, because they use scanners in Star Trek. Tuning forks are a bit like that. So you scan the body with them, and you can hear, if your ear is tuned, you can hear when the sound is slightly dull. So that's where you know to focus the tuning fork. So it then recalibrates.
Oh, that's fascinating.
It's like, and I was quite skeptical about that
I
when
love
I
that.
learned it.
Yeah.
But doing it is, actually
Yeah.
hearing it is completely different to learning the theory around it. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, the reason that I asked you what that really involves is because, I'm always trying to simplify these terms that we use so that people can understand and relate to them better. And, people hear about sound healing baths and sound healing therapy, and it just sounds woo woo to them. So I want to bring it down to earth and give them an understanding from an everyday normal person perspective of why it works and why they should be open to using it, trying it, contacting people like you. So if you don't mind and you have some words that can elaborate on that, I would love for you to give your wisdom on that. And then if we can put you on the spot, I would love to have a sample sound healing.
Cool. So if you the actual kind of physical effect of a specifically tuned instrument, so a gong or a singing bowl or a tuning fork or even a drum, the thing that it does, so sound will move through anything. Yeah, so it literally moves through your body, and it I want to say it takes no prisoners, but it doesn't, it's not worried about, how relaxed you are or are you stressed today. It just moves through your body, and it's that recalibration. So what it enables your body to do is just completely relax. So you can go from being in complete overwhelm to being completely relaxed in a matter of minutes. That's how powerful it is.
Love it.
And I've even heard someone say their son had a sound healing session with us, and she said, I've never seen his face look like that. It's like all the stress just melted from his face. I'm like, wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's amazing.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Completely.
That was a really good explanation. How it just goes through anybody and it just doesn't even care. It has no I mean, it's neutral, right? It's completely neutral in that it has no concern about how you're feeling about it or your opinion of it. And that, I think that's a really beautiful thing, because I have found in my methods of healing that sometimes dealing with clients, if their mind isn't open enough to what I'm doing, I can only help them so much. It's limited. Whereas sound healing, that's a whole new world.
Yeah, and all the person
That's
has to do
beautiful.
is lay down and go to sleep.
Well,
You know,
that's not too hard
most
to ask. Shoot, I'll do that. You
exactly.
know,
It's only people, there you go. What is sound
I
healing
could
then? Well,
use
you
a
lay
nap.
down. Yeah, you lay down, you go to sleep, we play some stuff, and you relax. Oh, all right, okay.
Cool.
It's
That's easy
yeah,
and painless.
yeah. And and I suppose it takes the, like you say, it takes the thinking out of it, because for anyone who's had any kind of like hands-on healing or anything like that, your mind's going as the person's doing the healing, and you're like, can I feel that? What's that? And there's all this stuff going on. Yeah, sound healing.
Yep.
Most people fall asleep, to be honest, when we're doing the sound healing, because it's
Yeah.
that deep relaxation that you come to.
Right. And see, just again, in contrast with the work that I do, if somebody fell asleep while I was working with them, I would feel awkward. Right? I would feel like I'm not doing my job. But in your case, that's a good thing.
That's a
That's
good thing,
great.
yeah.
So, out of all of the different tools that you use, what is your personal favorite?
Oh, blimey.
If you had to choose.
Oh, it's really hard, because I love gongs. But I suppose it's got to be the crystal
Yeah,
singing bowls.
I do too.
They're
The
just,
crystal thing, but I love, and the crystal has a whole different pitch from like the brass or other bowls,
oh
right?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
whole different frequency.
yes.
Yeah.
I think the Tibetan bowls are more kind of earth based, if that makes sense. And the crystal
Yeah.
bowls, they're definitely connected to the higher aspects of ourselves. That's probably the only way I can describe it. So they
Yeah.
both serve different
I
purposes.
think that's great.
And of course, the metal ones, the Tibetan ones, you put on the body, or you can put them on your head. You can't really do that with the crystal ones; they're a bit heavy. um,
Right. Right.
so they do serve different purposes. But yeah, my personal favorite is, I suppose, if I had to choose, it would be my third eye crystal singing bowl.
All right. All right. Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot and make you have to choose just one, but I was just, curious which
Yeah.
ones which ones you really like the best. And I personally love gongs too. I mean, like I like all of the different methods. I like the tuning forks. I like bowls, but something about that gong. Shh, Milo, be quiet, please. Something about that gong just like reaches my soul on such a primitive,
Yeah.
deep level. Does that make sense to you?
Oh
Can
yeah.
you explain that to me?
When I'm playing the gongs, I must look a bit weird actually. Because I get right up in their face and I play it, and it's almost like it's I have a conversation with it. I do. I'm standing like this far
With the
away from the
gong?
gong while I'm playing it. It's just, and the sounds, just by using different buttons and flumies and whatever, it's like the sounds that you can get out of a gong. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
And you can
So,
sing with them.
would you like to play a sample? Can you
Yeah,
really?
I can grab my bowl. I'll have to move my microphone.
Okay.
Move all my crap out of the way. All right, bear with me.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I would really love to hear a little sample. Oh my gosh, that's a big bowl.
Little one. That's a little one.
That's a little one?
That's a little one.
Oh my land.
Got a 12-inch bowl sitting over there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, that is awesome. That shakes the floor. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that would be such a cool feeling. Okay.
Oh, it's amazing. Because, you know, I post some of this stuff up on YouTube. Can you hear that? Excuse the motorbike. Can you hear that?
No, maybe the mic's not going to pick it up. Oh, I'm still not hearing it.
Okay. Still do it that way. You hear that? Might need to.
No. And a friend of mine has tuning forks, and we had trouble getting the tuning forks to pick up on the microphone one time too. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's such a high pitch frequency, it's hard to pick up sometimes.
Let me change in the microphone. Can you hear that?
Oh, I am starting to hear it now. Yes.
I changed the microphone, so.
Yeah, on my end, I'm only getting glimpses of the sound, unfortunately.
Wow.
Maybe it'll pick up better for the recording itself.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Where's the gong?
I could go and do a gong. Although the other day when I was trying to live stream some gong stuff, and it was they were too powerful for my very good microphones, and they kept cutting out.
Yeah, that's what it was doing, was kind of cutting it out with the crystal bowl. And yeah, I think that's what it is. The frequencies are just so high that it's really very hard to pick that up on a microphone. But that's okay. That's okay. We gave it a try.
We did.
Yeah. Now you can scoot your microphone back over toward you and get your nice big cup of tea or whatever you're drinking. Enjoy that again. Green tea. I love green tea.
Yeah, my partner makes it. You can stand a spoon up in it. Very strong.
Yeah. Well, that's good for you. Okay, so how do you go about doing sound healing with people? Do you advertise? Do they just know about you and they come to you? Is it friends and family? How does this work?
It's a bit of both, actually. We don't really advertise apart from on Google. We use Google My Business. A lot of it comes through word of mouth, which is really cool. But we do get like little dribs and drabs through Google searches. In fact, we got someone coming tomorrow who was actually looking for crystals and went, "Oh my God, you do sound healing." She'd been traveling up to London every time she wanted sound healing, which is quite a trek. So she was quite happy. We're just down the road from her.
Wonderful.
I mean, I've redone our website. So that's the one that's up there at the moment is just sound healing, but we do other stuff as well. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of both. People come to us word of mouth, or sometimes they get to us through Google.
Okay. Can you see my daughter crawling down the hallway in the background? Trying to keep out of the camera.
Oh dear. That's funny.
They do pretty good at trying to stay out of the camera frame. So yeah, I want to be sure to put your website and your contact information in the description link below the video so that anybody that's in your area can contact you for your wonderful sound healing. And I would love to work with you further, but I don't know how that's going to play out yet. We're going to just have to play that by ear.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Let it unfold.
But yes, that's right. But I'm a firm believer that when we have that kind of a connection, that there's a reason for it. There's a reason. There's something there to explore, and so that's why I was so quick to say let's do a show together because there's something there, right?
Yeah.
And that's my job to get us all connected and moving and grooving and doing all these beautiful new things that are helping to create this new world that we're embarking upon, right?
Yeah, 100%. And and then a lot of people, I don't know, there's so much fear around that at the moment, and I don't understand how people can't understand that they're creating it. This isn't, I don't know how you would say that, the people in charge. No, they're not in charge. Stop it. We are creating it. It's nothing to do with them.
That's right.
I don't even know what you'd call them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't have a name.
I think we kind of we forgot that we're in charge. And so the people that still knew they could do something kind of capitalized on that and ran with it. And now we're in this beautiful awakening of awareness of who we are, and people are taking charge again. And so we're taking the power back from them and creating the world that we want. And I think it's freaking amazing. It's so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah, we tend to laugh a lot at the weird narratives that are kind of playing out all over the place at the moment.
Yeah. 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 Because it is kind of like a movie, right?
Yeah, we are definitely watching ourselves watching a screen. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's an in-your-face lesson of how you can look at things from the higher perspective of your higher self and watch how all this plays out. Similar to near-death experiences, actually, where people literally step outside their body and they can see all of the event playing, except we don't have to die or be close to death. to experience this in this time.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. It's phenomenal. It's mind blowing. It's exciting. There's lots of adjectives that I could use for it. But I mean, Confucius got it right when he said, "May you live in interesting times," because we're there, baby. We're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I think it's
So what else? Oh, go ahead.
no, it's okay.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's if the last 3 years has taught us anything, it's that life is so much more interesting actually when you step away from all that stuff.
That's right. Because it was just noise. It was just noise to keep us busy, right? Keep us
Entertainment.
distracted.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. And it's funny because even I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago, I'd have thought that what I'm doing now is actually a bit boring. Because about that time ago that's when I stopped drinking. So it's like, well, so not drinking, that's a bit boring. I mean, in fact, no, it's more interesting. And I think that's what that's what a lot of people are scared of, because they're scared of feeling bored. I think that's part of what that is, why they keep looking at that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
what would
being,
be your
isn't it?
advice on that?
Oh. Go and do some yoga.
I'm on.
Go and
Do some
get
yoga.
out into nature. Get into nature. Walk until you can't walk anymore.
I like it.
Put your phone down.
Definitely.
That is just like this constant. Yeah.
I know. It drives me absolutely batty to go to a restaurant or any kind of public place, and you see these people, they're all there together, they're clearly family or related in some way, but nobody's looking at each other, nobody's talking to each other, they're all doing this on their phone, and it just drives me crazy. I'm like, put your phones down, you have people in front of you, be present in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, this was a couple of years ago, and we were out in a pub garden having I think we'd done a long walk, and we were having our chips and our lime and soda, and there's a young couple with a young baby in a pram, and they're both sitting there doing that. It's like, I can't even comprehend what would make you do that and completely ignore your baby. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. I don't know. I mean, I have 7 kids, and when my kids were babies, I could not get enough of them. I mean, I would just like stare at them obsessively and watch every little thing that they do,
Yeah.
I was just so enthralled by them. So I don't, but I'm from a different generation. So I think it's different for us.
Yeah, I think that's where we have an advantage, because we were here before technology, that technology, the phones and even telly. We didn't have a telly when I was a child.
Right.
All that stuff, laptops, internet, none of that. We had none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're lucky because we know what life actually is. So some of these kids now, they don't know life without those things. And I think that's a little bit sad, actually, because there's more, so much more.
There's so much more. Yeah, so much more. And the sad thing about it is that, the generation with those children that would be their parents, they were kind of the kids that had one foot in both worlds, right? They were the interception of, or the combining, intertwining, however you say that, of this new age technology world and that old style living, you know, that was falling away.
Yeah.
And and I feel like, and you know, a lot of times they get classed as like the snowflakes or whatever. But I think a lot of snowflakes are actually waking up at this
Oh,
time.
wow.
Several of my clients, several of my clients recently are in their late 20s, early 30s, and that's huge for me. That's really huge that demographic is waking up now. Because we need them. You know, we're let's face it, we're going to get old quicker than they are, and our knowledge and our views are going to fall away, right? So we need them. They're a very important, intricate part of our future and the future that we hope to build for this world. So I'm really glad to see a lot of them waking up now, finally. But yeah, like I said, I have 7 kids, and my kids, you know, even though they have technologies and they have some nice things, you know, quote unquote nice things,
Yeah.
they have limitations to it and rules, right? Like you can only be on the computer for an hour in one day, and you know, you have to have outside time. You have to have, like, my kids play with Hot Wheels still and Slinkies and Play-Doh, and you know, go outside and dig for worms. I mean, like, right? We're still gonna be doing those things so that they
Yeah.
can learn what it's like to really be a kid. You know, get dirty, because
Yeah.
getting dirty is a great thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what else are you interested in, or what do you do in your pastime when you're not healing people with sound?
It's kind of because we do these, you know, we it's like how can I say that? We live we have a particular lifestyle, and we share that with people who are interested. So sound healing is part of, it's not just something we do for other people. We use it every day for ourselves, whether that's through yoga, mantra, playing some kind of instrument, or singing at the top of my voice with the dog. So it's kind of everything that we do, everything that we are interested in. I don't know if that's, yeah. Everything we do is part of our whole lifestyle. So it's a bit like when we were yoga teachers. It wasn't the weird gym yoga that, you know, everyone went crazy about for a little while. It was more like the whole thing. So what we were trying to do back then is, you know, show people what, you know, living a yogic lifestyle was actually like, rather than just going to a class once a week. And it's the same with the
Wonderful. I
sound
love that.
healing. Yeah. And it's funny because when I suppose in my early 20s, I kind of wanted to live that kind of a life, but I had no idea because I was working a crappy job, you know, living in shared accommodation with people who weren't always great. And it's like, oh, I don't know how that's going to
Yeah.
happen. And it just happened. So, you know, other stuff that we're interested in. We love walking, hiking, camping. Don't know if I can say this. We're occultists, witches. What else do we do? We teach. We open our house once a month for people to come here for healing, and that's free. Sometimes they make, you know, people make donations, but essentially it's free. We love to cook good food. That's the other thing that people
Yes.
really don't do these days. The amount of
Yes.
delivery scooters and push bikes that are everywhere now.
I know.
What, breakfast delivered to your house by someone on a push bike from McDonald's? No. No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
No.
art of being able to put food together is, and I could never cook. I learned to cook when I had my son, because it's like, well, I'm not feeding you crap, I'm going to learn to cook.
Yeah.
So it's another one of those things, isn't it, that has kind of got lost somewhere. And
Yeah.
it's quite sad,
It
because
really.
it's creative, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's missing a lot, is that creativity.
Yeah. I agree. I love to cook. I have always loved to cook. All of my children say that I'm the best cook they've ever eaten food from, and that the reason for that is because I put my alchemical process of love into it, because I really truly love to cook and to
Yeah.
feed people and nurture them. And for the longest time, I didn't know how to cook for anything but an army size amount of people, right? It took me a
Oh,
long
wow.
time to learn how to cook small
Yeah.
because I was so used to feeding so many, because it wouldn't just be my children, it would be some of my brothers and a sister or two, and an aunt or uncle would pop in, and my mother, and because everybody was coming to Kelly's house to eat because nobody else cooks like that anymore. So
Yeah.
I would feed a lot of people, and I love doing it. And I grow my own food. I
Wow.
buy local when I can't grow my own. I'm buying from local. I do a lot of things that are nature based like that, the way that my grandparents did it, my parents did it. And that is a lost art, all of it. The cooking, the way that we get our food, everything about that is like a lost art that is so important to our longevity and our health, and that union, that camaraderie of sitting with your people and breaking bread with them and having those conversations. I mean, that's, to me, that's what home is. That's what family is, that right there. And yeah, I'm sad that so many people have fallen away from that. It saddens me for them. They just really don't know what they're missing.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so cool.
So I think that's great. I think that's great that you're a cook. And I'm okay with you being a witch too, by the way, doing your witchy things, because that's another one of those things that people immediately, they go to left field with it, and they think this or they think that, and they always put these labels on it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, all of us beautiful souls that volunteered to be here now to help move this beautiful way forward that we're building in life, we're very likely the same people in history that were all burned at a stake because
Absolutely.
we embraced our magical qualities. Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
we are magical beings.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't
Absolutely.
be ashamed of it. And people shouldn't be trying to put us in categories and put judgment labels on us, because we accept and hone our God-given abilities that we have. So I have no problem with you
Cool.
being a witch at all. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing. Some friends of mine and myself were actually joking the other day that because we want to build a community in our area where everybody can just come and be free and accentuate each other's gifts and just share in a real communicative kind of a way, right? And
Yeah.
my friend says, well, everybody's going to say that we've created a coven, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if that's what
Cool.
they want to look at it like. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If they want to come to our cabin and visit, they're welcome.
Oh, that's cool.
I feel like the I feel like the men are starting to try to catch up with us women with being in touch with their intuition and their sacred abilities and things like that. It's a slow process for them, but I feel like it's starting to happen finally.
I'm quite lucky. Out of all the males that, my dad, my brother, even my son to some degree, who are a little bit toxic. My partner, no,
Mhm.
he's I don't know. I don't even quite know how I manifested him. I did,
Well,
because I deliberately did something that manifested him. But he was funny. He was saying today, he's very, I mean, he's a medium, very intuitive, and I don't think I've ever met another bloke like him. He's quite unique.
awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Maybe he might want to do a show with us too in the future, and we can do some psychic medium kind of stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Do some sound.
He's not over fond of
Get
the
the
camera, but I'm sure I
microphone.
can persuade him.
All right, cool. I totally get that because I was scared to death of the camera to begin with. I was
Yeah, so was I. Completely.
yeah. So I mean, seriously, I used to sit in front of the camera with my finger just waiting to push play to record, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I just couldn't.
Wow.
I was so scared. So I totally get it. And look at me now.
Absolutely.
I'm live in your face.
I used to have, because we
right.
do videos like walks and stuff that we do, or activism stuff that we do, and I would have stand-up rows with Ian, my partner, about who was going to be behind the camera, because there was no way I was going to be in front of the camera. We would have arguments about it.
That's hilarious. I love it. Well, yeah, I mean, if he's up to it, that might be something fun to do. We could try that out if he's willing. Yeah. But I would definitely like to do more shows with you and come up with some fun, creative things to help people see our world and normalize it a little more, maybe, if that's even the word I should be using for it. Because we are very down to earth people, and that's, for me, I think that's the thing that people really don't understand when they're interested in growing spiritually, they're interested in going deeper, but everything sounds daunting or confusing or hard to obtain. And I just really want to, in as many ways possible, show them that, I mean, we're just like anybody else. We laugh, we cry, we sweat, we bleed, we're just like everybody. There's nothing super fantastical about us, it's like we're untouchable, because a lot of people look at things like that too. Like, I could never, I've heard people say to me, I'm over here and you're up here and I could never achieve that in one lifetime. But yes, you can, because we can literally change our timeline in the blink of an eye. I mean, all
Absolutely.
it is about shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just looking for ways to help people to shift their perspective, to give themselves permission to open up and entertain a more vibrant, meaningful way to be alive and enjoy this beautiful planet that we've been gifted with, right?
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And if all,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's I mean, I don't know what your opinion is on this idea that as we walk this journey now, we come more into the cycle of living much, much, much longer lives. Like, let me get this right.
Yes.
Some of the Mesopotamian kings, I think it was.
Hmm.
I know they're a long
Hmm.
time ago.
Yes.
700 years and beyond. It's
Mhm.
like it's almost like the
Yeah.
denser vibration we've taken on, the less time we live for. So I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon.
That's right. And I completely agree with you. I'm not either. I think that we can live 700, 900, 1,000 years the way that Thoth did, the way that
Mm,
Hermes did, the way that Moses did, and Abraham from the Bible. Yes, I absolutely think that when we raise the vibration of the planet and within ourselves, that this extends our longevity. That's like the ancient Chinese secret, isn't it? Of all of the Zen masters. I mean, that was
yeah,
their train of thought too, right? And
absolutely.
all the monks, they live a long, good life,
Yeah.
even in this dense vibration that we
Mm,
have
yeah.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Dalai Lama. He's a really old man, and he looks fabulous for his age because he lives this happy life of the Buddha, right? He has that higher vibration about him.
Mm,
And and I mean, even myself personally, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just trying to prove a point here. I'm 51, and there's people that will come to me and say, "You don't look 50 at all." And I think it's the vibration, right? It's the joy inside of us,
absolutely.
Don't you
Absolutely.
agree? Yeah,
Absolutely. And you
I
can
think it
see that on people's
flows.
faces. You can see that,
Yeah.
all that emotion kind of sets your face in a particular way. And then
Yes.
your body follows.
Yes.
Your body follows. I saw that with
That's
my mum.
right. That's right.
Um, her bitterness of what had happened in her life, showed on her
Hmm.
face and then got in her body. And
That's
yeah,
right.
she was on horrific drugs for pain and stuff. And yeah, it was, and is, I don't know, she was obviously meant to go through that journey. But to be able to, observe that. I know it's my mother, but I kind of had a bit of
Yeah.
a, I had a bit of distance there. To actually watch that happen
Yes.
was quite
Hmm.
a lesson. um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think that's intentional too. I think not only was your mother's own journey intentional for her, and she had the choice of what to do with it, but it was intentional for you to be with her and witness that journey so that you could learn from her choices or lack thereof of how to gauge and move forward because it's a generational thing, right? We're
yeah,
we're passing this knowledge on through the generations. Because I too, I mean, I love my mother to pieces. God love her. She's 90 years old.
oh,
But when I was a child, she was the first, yeah, she was the first narcissist that I ever knew,
wow,
right?
yeah,
Because my journey was about learning self acceptance and self love and self awareness so that I could better teach it to other people. So that was necessary. All of that was necessary things to happen. And granted, my mother went through plenty of her own horrific things in her journey. And she taught me faith in that actually because she transmuted energy. She would take bad things that happened to her and she would transmute it in a different way to to benefit her, right? Um, Now, at the time when I'm a child and looking at it, it looked more strategic and selfish, if you will.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing and finding the beauty in the ability to do that if you do it for good, right? If you can do it for good, because we can transmute energy whether it's for good intention or bad.
Yeah.
So um, huge lessons to be learned through the generations from things like that. So it was meant for you. It was meant for you to observe that.
Mm,
I firmly feel that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've rendered you speechless. Let's have some tea.
It's funny because I guess I've never really made that connection. So yeah, that's quite interesting. And only
Ah,
only yesterday, I love those aha moments when they take you by surprise. It's like, whoa, hang on. Only yesterday, I was going through a load of stuff trying to find something and was looking at photos of my mum. So that's quite that's that synchro mystic. There's a dot there. Okay. So that's really
yeah.
quite interesting.
That's how God works through me. That tends to happen a lot. I don't know it's coming, but it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's a
isn't it
beautiful
amazing when
thing
it
that
does? It's amazing when it happens like that.
mhm.
And I think, through all the things that we
Yeah.
um, help people to restore their being, yeah, one of the things I get most excited about and I jump up and down about is this synchro mystic journey where people go, oh my God, you never guess. I only said that 5 seconds ago and then it appeared in front of me. I'm like, yes. It is. There's something about that journey which is, it's pure magic when it just appears in front of your
It
face.
is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. That's when we see the divinity in everything, in my opinion. That I love synchronistic stuff. And it seems like that is like a huge theme lately with everyone.
Yeah.
Even people that didn't really ever notice synchronistic things in their life before, synchronicities starting to happen for them, and they're getting mind blown. And
Yeah.
they're like, Kelly, oh my God, this, and this. And I'm just like, I love the way God works. I love the magic that's happening all over the place. This is
Oh
like
yeah.
so beautiful.
It's when they come up to you and go, and they go, have you noticed that blah blah? And you go, that's what I've been talking about for the last 10 years. And they go, oh,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what you were talking about.
I know, right? Yeah.
Were you
I'm glad
listening?
this
Were you listening when I was
understanding.
talking about it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just something that we just can't get. We can't wrap our mind around it until we experience it. You
Yeah.
know, we can hear other people talk about it, but you just don't get it. Kind of like a near death experience, right? You can hear people talk about that, but you just don't really get the full effect of it unless you experience it yourself.
Mm.
Thankfully, with synchronicity, we don't have to almost die to understand, you know. But
Absolutely.
I mean, with that being said, it really is kind of like a phoenix moment, though, because once you start becoming aware of the synchronicities, once you start becoming aware of the self, it's like this whole death and rebirth thing, right? You know, and it's a beautiful thing to witness in people. I
Mm.
love watching people grow. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been an awesome first show to do together. Um, Do you have anything you would like to say to the world before we close this out? Any parting words of wisdom?
Well, something that so it's certainly really come in the last 3 years, although all our work was around this kind of idea of what some people describe as unconditional love. But I never really understood that. It didn't make sense to me. But something that came in, I think it was either last year or the year before, was this idea of love consciousness. So it's a consciousness which is love, which comes, it is everything that ever was, is, and will be. And it has no remit at all except to align with it. So, and it's because we're bombarded by lots of stuff all the time. Yeah. It can be a challenge to align with that part of ourselves that is the innate inside us. Yeah. Or not inside us. But if you can, as much as possible, align with that part of yourself that just knows. So I knew about a month ago. I don't know. I didn't know how it was going to. I didn't know how. Did not know I was going to be sitting here, right? I knew somewhere along the line there was going to be an interview. I didn't know if I was doing the interview or someone else was doing the interview, but I knew I was going to be there. There was an interview. Yeah, I didn't know how I know that. I knew it, and it was here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know what that is, but thank you. And then it's unfolded. Yeah. But there was a knowing there. So, people might say, well, where does that knowing come from? Well, it comes from in here, because before you were born, you can see everything. And you can see your path.
Right.
You go, right, that's the one. Whee, off we go. So your soul, higher self, whatever people want to call it, knows. It knows. It knows where it's going.
Yeah.
We might not, but it knows. So
yeah.
If you can align with that part of yourself, and I think that the key to connecting with that is some kind of meditation. So some kind of creativity, or sitting in silence that dropping away of everything is phenomenal. And if you can connect with who you truly are, well, that's it. That's it. And that's love consciousness, because we are that's come from the void. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's right. That made perfect sense. That was very beautiful. Yeah, that was really beautiful. I love that. Thank you. And yeah, like you were saying, your higher self just kind of gives you a little cue card or a little road sign that up ahead, this is going to happen. Just trust that and get ready for it. And ta-da, here we are having an interview together.
Yeah.
Like magic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. That was a great analogy for true unconditional love. Really good. Because it comes from it comes from within. It's that acceptance of self, that acceptance of where we come from. I mean, I love that. That's beautiful how you did that. Really good. Really good. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
And you. It's amazing. And it's funny because I think it was a couple of years ago when I think someone sent me like, check this out, like people do with YouTube. I'm like, okay, amongst a whole list of videos I had to check out. But your reading, you did a reading, I think this was a couple of years ago, And I sat there and listened to it. I'm like, oh my God, this is really spooky. It was so, it was uncanny.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. He was like, he just
Yeah.
hit the nail right on the head. I'm like, okay, subscribe. And here we are.
Cool. Well, thank you. I didn't even realize that you're actually a subscriber.
Ah, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thank you very much. I am very, very grateful for all of my subscribers, and I'm very grateful for my gifts, and I'm very grateful for my journey because it taught me to trust that. You know, I have this direct connection with God all the time. And for a long time, I didn't want it. I knew my purpose, I knew my path, but I just wanted to be normal like everybody else. And then I realized that normal isn't good.
No.
So, you know, I had to accept who I am and be okay with being different, you know? Yeah. But I'm very grateful for this whole journey. I'm grateful that I met you through YouTube.
Yeah,
Who
absolutely.
knew that? I mean, you were going to watch a video 2 years ago, and here we are now. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love that. That's phenomenal to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Very
you, God. I love how crazy cool this is. I love it. I mean,
fantastic.
like I live like you, I live this life every day. It's not just like a job for me. It's my life.
Yeah.
It's my lifestyle. But I
Yeah.
still get so excited, just like a little kid. You know, I'm like a kid in a candy shop when things like this happen. It just
Yeah.
thrills me so much. I'm going to
Yeah.
be on cloud nine the rest of the day because of knowing this now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
I just
This
love it when
journey,
God works.
this journey is phenomenal, and I love it.
It is. It is. It absolutely is. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be on this journey with you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for agreeing to come on my show.
Oh, it's been
Thank you.
fantastic.
I mean, this has been wonderful. And I really look forward to doing more stuff with you and
Yeah.
maybe with your partner. We won't pressure him, but if he's open, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely, he's
he'll
welcome.
talk for a long
Absolutely.
time.
Well, I like
Yeah.
talkers. I like talkers. Yeah.
Cool.
Never a dull
Main
moment,
here.
right? Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did, or at least half as much as we did. We enjoyed it immensely. You know, all that same stuff. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Hit that like button thing because it helps the algorithm and all that. And I hate to do that spiel, but it's just part of that technical world. You know, in order to get this message out and to reach as many people as we can, and those are the things that have to happen. So I appreciate
Absolutely.
everyone's help in doing so. I appreciate Angie for being here and sharing her beautiful light with us and her wisdom. And maybe next time the singing bowls, hopefully, if we can get the microphone stuff worked out, that would be
Yeah.
really amazing to experience with you.
Cool.
So thank you. And until next time, be well and be blessed in love and light, guys.